And you know what's interesting? When we go into this business, we talk about it. This is a referral-based business. And then we go in and we don't get any of them. Well, if this is a referral-based business, shouldn't we be getting referrals? Yeah. I mean, that's the basis of the business, right? We do recruit, right? Obviously, so we can go field train. But in our regular business, we're referral-based. We're 100% referral-based. So don't forget that. The fifth R, recruit. You guys knew that had to be one of the R's. Recruit. Invite them to a BPM. So make sure. I would say invite them to the office. Usually but obviously it's different now. We had a 15,000 square foot office right down the street from where I live. Right. We used to say, come back to the office for the second appointment. Obviously, it's not the case now, right? We're over Zoom, right? But you guys also want to feel this out. I wouldn't recruit them right there on the spot, but let them know that we have see, you guys got to make a connection and find out this. So this isn't every single person, by the way, on the second appointment. You're not going to go and recruit every single person on their second appointment, right? Because if the first appointment, how did it go? You don't want to necessarily jump right into recruit. So, but the first appointment could have went awesome. Okay, great. So let's see if we can get you approved. So the goal, fill out the info sheet, order the medical exam. Okay? Get referrals, right? And get commitment to the BPM if in fact they have an interest in the business. If they start asking questions, hey, there's some really good people, SMBs that are great about recruiting their clients and how they do it. I can't remember, I'm sure Armando can tell me after I'm done here, but there are some organizations that are really good about making a client and then recruiting them right after they make them a client. They bring them on board, and because they already have the product, they believe in it, and then now they're off to the races. I would like to get a training on how to convert your client to a recruit, because I think that would be a really good one. But anyways, also I didn't put in here, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I was training my team to do as well, is I know now sometimes getting electronic signatures, deliveries, and all that stuff's a little bit of a pain in the butt, right? So what do? Instead of using an info sheet, I know we have the info sheets to collect all the stuff. What I do is I share my screen with them directly right then and there. I pull up the iGo application where you're filling everything out, and I just fill it out right there. Okay, what's your name? What's your social? What's your address? And I just fill it out all right there. I get to the end. I go, hey, I'm going to send you an email to e-sign this real quick, okay? I send the email out. They e-sign it. Done deal. It's in the system. It's in the pipeline. As opposed to me using a piece of paper, I'm writing down all those questions. Then I get off. Then I have to go back in and re-enter it all in the computer. Then I send the email invite out for them to e-sign some of this stuff. Then they don't do it right away, and it's just a freaking mess sometimes, So I do it right then and there. I share the screen right there. And it's been working because you're getting it in the pipeline quicker. You're getting it in there faster. Because people forget to check their mail sometimes for those types of things. So that's what we're doing. If it requires a medical exam, order the exam right then and there. Hey, when are you available? Make sure they don't tell you. I think maybe sometime in March. No. It's not going to happen in March. So, hey, within the next few days or maybe the next week, give me a couple of days that are good for you. Oh, Thursday or Friday, or what about Saturday morning? Oh, Saturday morning's good. Get a date. Okay, we're going to call and schedule the exam right now, okay? Great. I get on the phone, I schedule the exam right then and there with them on Zoom. Everything. Because I don't want anything that's going to hang around, right? And then I take care of all of it. And then you wrap it up, right? So that's step 2. Step 3. And we just talked about this. 7 ways to get referrals. Oh, look at this. Surprise, surprise. Ask for them. You guys are probably like, that's simple. Come on. You know what happens? You get so excited you close a sale, and you're just like, yeah, I just got a rollover. I just helped this client. Awesome. All right, cool. You don't even ask for referrals because you're so excited because you close a sale. So you got to ask for them. Always leverage the trainer. Always leverage the trainer on this too, by the way. You know what I do? I actually, as a trainer, I actually leverage the trainee a little bit too, because I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, who else do you have that Patty can go out and help, or where me and Patty can go out and help right now? Because these referrals are going to be part of her business as well. And so who else do you know that could take advantage of all the things that you saw the value of today, right? So leverage that. Go into the appointment expecting them. Sometimes if you go into an appointment not expecting them, you don't get them. Give a lot of value. Obvious, give a lot of value. If you don't bring value, they're not going to give you referrals. They're not going to give you referrals if you don't give a lot of value. Next one, leverage Pinnacle. Leverage how big we are. Leverage leverage that we are growing. Like we just grew 100%. We went from 40 million to 80 million. Start talking about how big we're getting, how the growth is exponential, and how we're the next face in the financial industry. Like we're doubling every single year. We're doubling at this crazy rate. I'm so glad I was able to get this for you right now, right? Leverage how much it usually costs to get a review. Does anybody? Let me see here. Larry, I'm gonna ask you. Do you know how much it usually costs to go sit down with like a financial planner, like at Ameriprise or something?
Man, I've never had that as like a true number, but like that's what I tell everybody. I just don't have a number, so no, I can't answer that question honestly. But $200?
No, you know what I tell you? It's between $2,000 to $3,000 to sit down and do a comprehensive financial plan.
And what is their requirement? You got to have in like funds to be able to sit with them to begin with.
Yeah. Every single bank will have their own minimums. Like some are $500,000, some are $1 million. And then to sit down with them, they charge you a fee to put down to do a plan. I'm doing this for free. Who else do you know that can take advantage of this for free?
That's good.
You know what I mean? So use that. People are paying over $2,000 for this. I just gave it to you free. Who else do you want to give a $2,000 gift for? You know, like put the value on it. Don't make it seem like you're like they're doing you a favor. Let them know that you're doing them a favor. And if they feel like, wow, you really did this, they're going to give you referrals. But if they feel like you begged them to do it and they're doing you the favor, you're probably not going to get referrals. Okay? And then leverage the bonus on the rollovers. Hey, you know, these companies, they give anywhere between 10 to 20% on bonuses. And the only thing and I'm so glad I was able to get you that bonus. All I'm going to need from you is referrals. So who do you know so I can get you the bonus? So you can leverage the bonus, get some referrals, because if you think about it, you're rolling it over, you know, and they're getting a bonus. So the 3 Ds, discuss the policy. Discuss the policy. What does that mean? Go over the value. Go over what the policy did for them. Don't go over the rate of return and the amount of dollars they're going to get tax-free. Go over what it's going to do for their family. You're going to be able to retire tax-free. You now have long-term care. You have living benefits. If taxes go up, your family's protected. You have a tax-sheltered vehicle now. So glad I was able to do that for you. Don't go over, like, I got you now, don't get me wrong, the 20% bonus kind of is a selling point, but don't go over, like, I'm glad I got you the 20% bonus. Talk about the other stuff. Talk about what it's going to do for them and their family. Like, more higher level stuff. You know what I mean? More higher level stuff. Because if you think about it, people don't remember the 20% bonus. They're going to remember how they feel in retirement. They're going to remember feelings. They're not going to remember numbers. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. I like numbers, and numbers do say a lot, but people will understand feelings. So discuss the policy and how it's going to make them feel in the future. Second D, drop off a gift card, or what you can do now, they got e-gift cards. So if you have a really big client, do a rollover, maybe like an e-gift card, or maybe you do a thank you card. I know, Rebecca, I think you did some thank you cards for the holidays, right? I think you did some of those.
Yeah, if I can comment, because that's a really good point and something I've been brainstorming for the future. I have a handful of friends in real estate, and that's a huge part of their business. You know, when someone buys a home, order them pizza and stuff the day that they move in because they're not thinking about dinner and they just want to thank them for buying that house. You know, after a year, they send them a nice bottle of wine to celebrate 1 year in their home. Like, so I want to think more than just gift card, but that's a really good point.
Yeah. And obviously you want to look at the policy. Like, I mean, if it's a $500,000 rollover, I mean, you're going to give them, you know, or $1 million rollover, you're going to give them something, you know, give them something. Now they say our limit's $100, right? That's what they say. They say our limit's $100 legally about what we're able to get. So, I mean, if you get the like a $50 term LB, maybe you're not buying the world for them. But if they're doing like a nice, decent sized rollover, maybe you do something. So don't be cheap. Be frugal but not cheap. What Eric says, right? Be frugal but not cheap, because it's all a write off. It's all a write off anyway. You can buy like a set of gift cards. Just take the record of it that those are for clients, and you can write them off in taxes for your business anyway, right? So you're a business owner, so you got to invest back in your business. And don't you think that if you drop off a gift card or something like that, they're gonna be like, this person cares about me. They're gonna send you referrals, because now you're their trusted advisor and you're not a salesperson. A salesperson is in and out. A salesperson is in and they're out. Thanks a lot. That's why they don't get referrals. And that's why a lot of, I hate to say it, when you pick up policy statements and you do an overview on people's policy, when's the last time you've had your agent reach out to you? Oh, I've had this thing for 10 years. Oh, I mean, they sold me the policy. They've never once called you for an annual review? No. And I called over there and they don't even know who that guy is. They never called me and told me anything about my policy. I thought, well, isn't it get past somebody else to look at it? Nobody took care of me. So there's a lot of people out there that have policies where they're not taking care of them. That's why I have my filing cabinet right next to me with all the files and everything, and I have all of those for all my reviews. You can also create logins with all the providers. So if you have policies with Pacific Life, Nationwide, Transamerica, you can actually go in and look at all of your current policies, all your policy owners. So you have access to all that, okay? And then the 3D is obviously deliver the policy. In regular times, you go actually sit down with them at the kitchen table and deliver their policy and do that. Now it's e-delivery, and they get the e-delivery. And I think something that we can get better at too, including myself, is when we do e-delivery, we do sit down with them again and just thank them. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and I'm going to be with you with anything you need. Please feel free to send me referrals. I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. Just make sure that they understand that that they weren't just a sale. People do not want to feel like they're just a sale, you guys. And that's Eric Carter, who is probably one of the best. He's like one of the best at this, and I think in Pinnacle is he really does follow up with his clients. I mean, he rolls money like he used to fly from Seattle to the Bay Area from some of his old clients for a referral, do like a $700,000 rollover, make over 20 grand, and fly back to Seattle. And it's just from his previous clientele. So, I mean, you take care of these people, you're going to have a lifelong referral source. So don't cut yourself off at the knees in this business. Take care of them. So that's step 3. I'm going to go over this too, really quick here. 7 fundamentals. This isn't going to be that long. So that's the 3-step sales process. But I'm going to go over 7 fundamentals that you need to have in this business, or you're not going to have any sales. You're not going to have a process of anything if you don't have fundamentals, right? Number 1, you need to master prospecting. Always look for good people. Be relentless. Have your radar up for people interested in making money, or they're just not interested in their job. It's interesting. I was just talking to that guy that was in real estate over here, having coffee with him this morning, and he's like, "Hey man," he says, "I tried to get you in real estate with me back, way back when, and you didn't go with me. Why didn't you go with WFG?" I said, "You know what? It was nothing against you, man. It's just I had just got promoted. Like, he wanted me to get into real estate, and Macy's promoted me and gave me a raise, right? So what happened? My interest level was kind of like, I got some more money, and I kind of went the other direction. Armando reached out to me via LinkedIn, and I was in the process of getting written up for something I had no control over. So guess what happened? I was pissed. I was pissed off. I was in a bad mood. He reached out to me at the absolute, like I would have done anything to get out of retail at that point, right? And Armando happened to reach out to me at that time. So guess what happened? Now I'm here. So sometimes you never know. Sometimes you reach out to somebody and it's just not the right time. And sometimes you reach out to somebody and it's just the right time, right person. You can't say the wrong thing. So don't just automatically assume people are happy in their job, okay? Because you never know. Recruit as you go. Yes, we do. I do schedule times where I send messages out on LinkedIn, right? But I would also say this, and this is a little bit more difficult because you're not out and about like normal days. Like normal days, you're just walking about your business and you're around people all the time, right? So if you had somebody that gave you really good business or business or really good service or something, you might prospect them and get their number and, you know, call them later. That's not the case now over here. We can't even go out to dinner. It's only takeout, right? So, but when things start to open back up, recruit as you go. You know, sometimes we make it a monumental task. Like, oh my gosh, I need to recruit 10 people this week. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? If you just focus on recruiting as you go, whether that be from clients, cold prospecting LinkedIn, or warm prospecting via field training, whatever the case may be. And who is a prospect? And this is kind of, you know, I get the more quantity, the more quality you will get. I get it. I understand the thought process because that's how the business is built. When Eric first started, he was recruiting anybody and everybody. I get it. But at the same time, if you want to be frustrated, then you'll recruit anybody and everybody in the wrong market. But if you're also going to be frustrated if you try to look for the perfect person. Goes both ways. Goes both ways, you guys. We talk about it a lot, like, well, don't recruit 18, 19-year-olds because they usually don't work out. But then you're like sitting here and you have this whole like, I'm going to recruit this MBA major who is a nurse just like Daniel Fumbo, and that's who I want as my team. Guess what? You're not going to have a team. Because if you keep focusing on something that, now, will that come around? Maybe. But you need to make sure that you stay in a macho market. If I had to just sum it up, it's same thing. They're married, they're age 30 and up, they have children, they have responsibilities, they're homeowners, they have jobs. You know what happens is when you're 30 and up, you've been in the corporate world long enough to get your ass kicked. Excuse my language. But if you've been like 30, 35 years old, you're like in the corporate structure like, I can't do this. I can tell you that for retail. Maybe I can't say that for every industry, but I can tell you that in retail, playing politics got old. And when I was 35 years old, at my peak of it, I was like, I'm done. I went to college and I got my degree like I was supposed to, and this is what I got. I can't stand it. So make sure that you start prospecting macho people. So that's number one. Number two, you need to master setting appointments up. So if you don't master setting appointments, you'll constantly be frustrated because you're not going to be in front of anybody. Okay? Also, here you go. No recruiter sales equals no growth in income. So if you don't recruit or have sales, I mean, what are we doing, right? There's going to be no growth in income. And your goal is to set up a time and day only, not give a presentation over the phone. So when you set appointments, you're not talking about perks and grip over the phone, okay? You're not talking about the JP Morgan participation 190% over the phone, right, Jerry? Okay, we're not doing that over the phone. We're piquing interest, we're setting an appointment. I just found out what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. What do you got going on this week on Thursday and Friday? I'd like to tell you all about it. That's it. You don't talk about any of the other stuff yet. Number three, master presenting. Master a simple, clear, duplicatable, and question-oriented presentation. I like the last part because this was the part that was toughest for me and was toughest for a lot of my agents and people in general that are trying to get signed off as field trainers. Question-oriented presentation. That's the key, right? You're not giving it... When we think presentation, we think PowerPoint and we just talk, right? Hey, what are your goals and dreams? Like, did you understand that? What type of vehicle? Like, you just gotta have that type of presentation. These are the presentations to master. The 5-minute one-on-one, which is similar to the hiring interview. The 5-minute one-on-one is literally one page out of the hiring interview, right? It's perks, grip, and it has the compensation for perks underneath and the compensation for grip underneath. So it's literally just like a quadrant: perks, grip, compensation, compensation. That's the 5-minute one-on-one. Hiring interview, we all know that one. The 3 circles IUL. Before Zoom, we used to have to draw these out. Man, you guys have a tough life. I gotta hit next and it automatically draws it for me in the right color. It's awesome. I used to have to use the right colors and draw it out every single thing when we did this on a yellow notepad. You guys don't have to worry, you just hit next. So the 3 circles IUL, I recommend that you guys start mastering that on a yellow pad. It's the same thing as the KTP version, you're just drawing it out on the yellow pad. Because if you happen to be in a coffee shop and you just want to pique some interest, that might be a good little, presentation to do. Peaks and valleys, which is also similar to the grip rollover. So if you know the grip, you write the grip on the side, you write the guarantees, the rate of return, the index strategy, pension-like income. So so you got the IUL presentation and the rollover presentation real quick. So those are some good presentations to master, really quick ones. You need to master overcoming objections. Oh, that should be number 4. Master how to overcome objections will allow you to become super confident, and it also has the benefit of reducing rejection. Isn't that awesome? So if you're getting a lot of rejection, you need to overcome the rejection before it happens, and that's why it's called objections. You're overcoming them. Raise your skill level, it'll become easier. So, just practice, practice, practice. Go out on more field training appointments. Practice, practice, practice. Obviously, at some point, you're going to be more independent, but if you're not there yet, leverage your field trainer. There's no replacement for it. You can practice in front of me. You can get signed off in front of me. But if you don't have enough experiences out in the field or seen it happen live, it's going to be very difficult for you. Like I said, I think I did probably 15 to 20 field training appointments before that I leveraged with Armando before I got signed off. And then guess what? Armando moved to Dallas, Texas. And then guess what happened to me? When Armando moved to Dallas, I got mapped over to Eric Olson's base shop. And then guess what Eric Olson made me do? I had to get signed off in front of Eric Olson with 50 people in back of me staring at me. That was crazy. I was just like, wow, we had to do this again? He's like, yep. I don't care if you've been signed off by Armando, you got to get signed off in front of me. All right. So I had to go do that again. But because I had so much experience in the field, I did get signed off on the first try. Everybody can do that. But the only way you get that good is if you go on a lot of appointments. Andy Roman went on 50 appointments before he started going out on his own helping business owners. So, you know what I mean? Like, go out on as many as you can because you never get this back, right? So, next one. Master products / concepts. I shouldn't say products. It's more master concepts because the products always change. So here we go. Term LB, IUL, FIA. Term LB, IUL, FIA. Term LB, IUL, FIA. That's it. Master that. You have to have unequivocal belief in our products. It's like you have to be sold out on it. You cannot have any questions about. Now, I'm not saying you can't have any questions, but what I mean is you can't be out trying to help families and think our products are questionable, I think is a better way to put it, okay? Like, you have to believe that we're doing good things for people, okay? This is what you could say to your clients. My life will not change by you being my client, but yours will. Because that's the truth. That's the truth. I just helped out a lady with a $250,000 term LB. She had a $13,000 whole life, $13,000 death benefit on a whole life for like $50 a month. I got her $250,000 with living benefits, 30-year term for $86. You tell me that we don't have the products and services, and I closed it over the phone. I close it. I didn't even meet her in real life. I close it over the phone. Like, who's going to say no to that, right? Do you think that $600 commission is going to change my life? No. That $250,000 in coverage with living benefits will change hers more than that $600 commission is ever going to change mine. So it's not like you're really lying about it. So that's a good one too, because it's the truth. 2 more. You got to master doing KTPs. You got to master the KTP. It's going to take you on the path to become a master field trainer. Okay? Take advantage of the Zoom KTP that's available right now. Because remember, like I said, I had a little flip chart. We had this flip chart, little rings on it. You had the little flip chart. You flip the pages over, laminated pages, and we had our yellow pad and I still have it here. Check this out. We have our little pad folio. You used to take this out in the field. That was it. Can we make sure we're on mute? I think Mr. Cardenas, I think you're on. Thank you, sir. Have a conversation, not a presentation. Kind of talked about that a little bit. KTP should be simple and easy to understand, not only for the client to understand it, so that you can duplicate it to the trainee. You do not want the trainee coming out of the appointment saying, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing, Sean. You did a great job. I don't know how I'm going to ever be able to do that." If you did that, you messed it up for the trainee. You don't want the trainee praising you when you come out. You want the trainee saying, "That's all you did? That's all you did? Yeah, that's easy. Holy crap. How did you do that?" Like, that's all I did. That's all you have to do. "Oh, this is easy. Let's go on a few more." So the easier you make it, the more confidence you're going to give your trainee that they're going to be able to do it. So make sure you get that. Don't overcomplicate it. And last one, master getting the profile top prospect list, AKA the top 100. Genuinely listen to the trainee and why they have come in the business, because they're not going to give up any names and numbers if you just ask for them. You gotta listen to them and what their goals are in business, and you gotta let them know the reason why you need to get that top 100 list. You don't just sit down with somebody and say, "Hey, okay, this is how the system works. Just listen to me. Put down 100 names and numbers on this paper. Don't ask me any questions. Eric Olson's making $7 million a year. This is what he did." That person's going to look at you and be like, "The hell with you, buddy." But if you find out what's important to them and explain to them why they need to do that, they're more likely to give you most of their phone numbers and that are on there, right? Because you're not going to be able to field train if you can't set up any appointments. Okay. I use the feel, felt, found, closed. Does anybody on this call, since I've been talking the whole time, does anybody, and I can't see everybody, does anybody know what that close is? Unmute yourself.
I think so.
Go ahead. Let's role play it. Let's say I don't want to put down 100 people.
I understand how you feel. I'm looking for it. I understand how you feel. I've felt the same way, but you know what I found is that once I did it, it was really helpful.
Okay, there you go. That's it. Super easy. Feel, felt, found. This is Ed Milet's. If you guys ever want to study somebody that was in the business that knows Ed Milet, feel, felt, found, close. One of the best things. I use it in almost every appointment, whether it be on the prospect list or whether I sense some type of attention. Have you ever been on an appointment and there's kind of like a little bit of that weird feeling like there's tension, and it's just like, oh, I don't know, I feel like I'm pulling teeth here. Like, this is you can listen, Rebecca. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. It's really weird that you never heard this before. I felt like that. But what I found is that I know that Nationwide's a great company. I know that Pacific Life is a great company. And if they're offering these products and they're A-rated, I found that these products are the top of the line. So I understand how you feel. I felt that same way. It's probably one of the easiest things you can do Feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. It's one of the easiest things you can do and duplicate to somebody else to get somebody to close business or make them feel a better way. Because remember, this business is about closing, but if you can't get in the feel a certain way about something, you're not going to be able to do it. It's all about feelings. I know it's a lot about that. Okay, so that's number 7. And that is it. That's what I got here. Do you guys, who has any questions or comments? We all good? Type your golden nugget in the chat if you can. Armando, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. You want to comment on it, or do you have anything?
I think that was really, really good. Refresher for some of us, but more importantly, for the new people, an understanding of what to expect on the field. And we're going to go through all of that process when we're out in the field doing field training. So just remember that the most important part about the field training is actually just setting the appointment and just watching it all play out. That's it. That's the best part about our system, is that you actually get to watch it live. And that's one of the perks of being able to just sit there and take notes. And I know some of you guys have been on field training, but one thing that I would definitely advise is make sure you're taking notes on the field. And then any questions you have, you may want to go ahead and just hold them until the end and be able to ask as well. Because again, it's for your training, it's for you to get better. But ultimately, most people here, I would say the majority, are field trainers. But what they feel that the new trainers are trying to do is close a big old deal, right? Go close $1 million rollover, or $20,000 front load, $1,000 a month. But you got to also remember that it's okay to go do a juvenile IUL. It's okay to go do a term LD. It's okay to go do an Everest, until you get your feet wet and feel comfortable now talking to them about IUL or talking to them about how to roll over the leg, right? Get your feet wet, start just getting some apps in the system, right? Remember, everybody started as a trainee. By you getting apps, you're starting to get better at being able to ask those questions and get that information back. So I would advise you, if you've never gotten an app, just go get a juvenile IUL. Those are easy. People always want to save money for their kids, right? But are you asking the right question? Are you setting up? Do you have everything that Sean just went over right now, what we went over last week and what we've gone over in training? Do you have it at a moment's notice, so that way, when you make the call or when you're on a Zoom, you're fully prepared, right? The only time you feel nervous or anxious is if you're not prepared, right? But if you're prepared, you're going to be ready to go. We had Leah asking about licensing. She just doesn't feel ready. I'm going to tell you guys one thing right now. As a field trainer, you're never going to feel ready, but I will guarantee you one thing. Me, Sean, and Tyler will make sure you're prepared, 100%, right? So all you got to go do is just execute. That's it. So remember, your execution is what creates the results. So you have to execute to make sure you're getting the results. And if there's something not working, then what you basically have to go do at that point is take somebody in the field with you, right? Learn what they're doing, learn how they're closing, and then be able to duplicate that. Because if you go try to do it and it's not working or it's taking too long, it's because some of those steps were either skipped or you weren't aware of it, right? That's why field training is so important. You got to go get these done and make it happen. So it's really, really good in that standpoint. But overall, I feel that was a really good reminder, and we're going to be able to go into details of what we want. Our goal every single Wednesday is to get you prepared to go and help families, right? To get you prepared to make sure you're executing at the highest level, right? Mike put it on the comments, basically says, practice until you can't get it wrong. So if you're doing it, make sure you continue to do it. So you know that now it's a habit. You know what to do, exactly how to do it, and that's it, right? You're asking the right questions, you're getting the right information. That financial needs analysis is all that is like your when you go out to the doctors, you're filling out what's wrong with you, what your history is, all of that. That's your financial needs analysis. You need to figure out what's wrong with their finances in order to be able to make the right recommendation, right? But if you don't fill that out correct, if you don't fill it out correctly or get all the information, then you're going to be guessing. You don't want to guess, right? You want to make sure you have an accurate picture of what they look like. So get out in the field, go get some term LDs, go get some IULs, some juvenile IULs. Just start doing something, because what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing that all the training that you've gone through is all going to come out when you go out and actually look at it, right? And if you need help, you need to reach out and communicate that to your field trainer or your SMD. Do not stay silent. I know that everybody on here also does not read minds, so let's make sure we're communicating with your leadership to make sure that you have the right help and you're getting the things that you need, right? So between Kelly, Jose, Larry, they reach out all the time, and that's why for the most part they always have some type of result going into it, into each and every week. Jose is going to make over $7,000 in the next 7 days. Kelly's going to get him MD. Larry's on his way to hit MD. So as you can see, the more you communicate, the more results you get, right? But we also know that 100%, we do not mind helping you as long as you're out in the field doing things, right? We'll help you set up the illustration, we'll help you set up the closing, all of that, right? You just got to go out in the field and make it happen. And if you haven't done your 10 field training appointments or 15 field training appointments, go out there and do it, right? And it doesn't matter if they take advantage of it or not. What's happening is you're starting to get repetition, right? You're starting to see the presentation multiple time and time again, so then that way you can go get signed off, right? So awesome job to everybody. I know that we have a lot of great things that are coming up in the pipeline, and also we have great things that are happening. But remember, the CEO plan to focus, right? I hope you guys took the pictures last week. I hope you know what you need to do, but don't leave this month without at least doing that, right? You need to do that. You need to start actually accomplishing the goals you set out to do, right? So go get your 3 direct visit partners, put those 9,000 points in the pipeline, and let's go make it happen, right? And then on January 30th, let me pull it up here. I just got it. On January 30th, it's the quote to 2021, the year to become a millionaire, right? At the time, you have to always remember it and reflect on this, guys. When at your job or corporate job did they ever talk about you becoming a millionaire, right? I don't think I can tell you, never did it happen to you. So obviously that we're all here to get to a certain goal, whether that be $250,000, $500,000, $750,000, multiple 7 figures. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're doing your best and you're giving you, right? Because why wouldn't you give your best? You only have one lifetime. Just don't make that one count, right? So it starts at 12 o'clock Central Time, and it ends at 6 p.m. So that's very short. By the way, that's nothing. It used to go 12 to 12, right? Or 2 to 2. So 5 hours is nothing, and what happens here is you're investing in yourself. You know how many people are going to go pay a couple $1,000s to watch a virtual Zoom of Les Brown or Tony Robbins be all fired up and not be able to direct that energy anywhere? I guarantee this. You're going to be fired up at the end of this, and you're going to know exactly where to direct this energy. So let's make sure you have it on your calendars, you book it, make sure you're there, because at the end of the day, this is for an investment in yourself, all right? All right, guys, so everybody who's not a field trainer, have a good night. Thank you, Sean, for presenting that. But everybody else who's not a field trainer, you guys have a good night. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk.